Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Yahshua, back with another lesson and video. All right, and I stumbled upon this little kind of documentary, short documentary on Russian cosmonauts, right? And they said something really interesting that caught my attention. They kind of described the angels, right? And then right around that, there's nothing but lies, So I just wanted to touch on that real quick and make this as short as possible. So we'll start right here, Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, let's talk about Yahushua. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so Amen. Okay, so what we're looking for here is, this is describing the second coming. He cometh with clouds, all right? And those clouds, as we know, are the chariots of Israel. Let's get that real quick. This is Psalm 104. And we're going to watch a little bit of this little documentary. Psalm 104 and 1. Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who covers thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters. Here's what we want. Who maketh the clouds his chariot, what they would call a UFO today. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who's in them chariots, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers of flaming fire. All right, who's in the chariots, in those clouds? The angels. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. All right, so now let's watch this thing. Oh, well, let me see how I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to have to get something here. Let's see. Let's go there. Let's go here. Okay, here we go. It's going to be this. Okay, and let me get there. Slock it, bear with me.
May 1981. The story goes that at first two cosmonauts.
Okay, let's
Love is resilient.
Bear with me on this damn commercial. This devil knows what's about to go on.
Witnessed a UFO. Experts.
All right, this guy, Gregory.
Cosmonaut on the 1968 Soyuz 3 spaceflight mission presented to a crowd of 200 party leaders, scientists, experts, and members of the official UFO Study Commission a report detailing an alien encounter that supposedly took place over a period of 4 days. The incident is said to have happened on the Salyut 6 space station whilst it was in orbit between the 14th and 18th of May 1981. The story goes that at first two cosmonauts on board witnessed a UFO at a distance of half a mile from the station. Then it moved and approached to be at a distance of 100 feet. From this distance, the cosmonauts claimed that they were able to see 3 extraterrestrial life forms inside the ship. According to the cosmonauts' testimonies which were presented in the report, the beings that they saw had brown skin.
What? The beings that they saw in the chariot had brown skin. Now that is in line with the scriptures, which we'll get. Now they can go right into the lies because they got to cover up what they just said, right? And they're going to say that they had blue eyes, but I mean, it doesn't say that anywhere in the scriptures. Maybe, they had on, maybe they had a helmet, maybe they had uh, you know, lenses, whatever. All right, but the brown skin. All right, how do they see their brown skin? All right, that's enough truth right there, because that's what it says in the scriptures. Don't say nothing about blue eyes though. They got to make sure that you understand that Esau got something to do with it. Anyway, we'll hear that again. We'll let it play out.
Inside the ship. According to the cosmonauts' testimonies which were presented in the report, the beings that they saw had brown skin and slanted bright blue eyes. These aliens were also said to have had straight noses and bushy eyebrows. The cosmonauts described them as resembling mechanical robots due to their seemingly emotionless facial expressions. The spacecraft itself was also described in detail and was said to have been spherical, around 30 feet in diameter, with 8 windows and 16 bright spheres arranged around the hull. It was said that the alien craft would vanish and then return. The cosmonauts could not figure out how the strange craft moved, as it had no exhaust pipes or any recognizable instrument to induce propulsion. At the time of the sightings, the cosmonauts requested that they be allowed to initiate close contact with the craft and the beings that they were seeing. Soviet spaceflight control, however, is reported to have refused their request and stated that they were to communicate through the use of measuring devices only. The alien ship soon after is reported to have approached the Soviets, and through a porthole, the aliens are said to have shown them a map on which the cosmonauts were able to identify the solar system, but not the other stars within it. Cosmonauts then attempted to communicate via Morse code, but the aliens showed no reaction. They then attempted to show them mathematical symbols, to which the aliens responded with symbols of their own, which the cosmonauts interpreted as mathematical formulas. It is claimed that this encounter was entirely recorded on video and was shown by Beregovi to those gathered at the conference in the 1980s. The film is now believed to be housed in a top-secret archive, with some UFO researchers having come forward claiming to have been warned against trying to find the film. Admittedly, such an encounter sounds ludicrous, but the alleged involvement of reliable witnesses and figures such as Beregovi and other cosmonauts makes it difficult to dismiss. Not only that, this is not the only extraterrestrial encounter reported by cosmonauts during the Soviet era. According to rumors, each landing of the Soyuz-type spacecraft on their return to Earth was monitored by extraterrestrials. In October 1991, a Russian newspaper reported on a UFO having been witnessed before the most recent Soyuz spaceship was due to land. In the newspaper article, it was stated that, as previously, the arrival of the UFO was seen by many eyewitnesses, and it was registered by the local Department of Internal Affairs. The use of the word previously indicates that this had happened before, and that extraterrestrial observation of human affairs was by then a routine occurrence.
Okay, well, the angels are always out there watching and recording what's going on. And that's no mystery to the men of the Lord. All right, so anyway, you get a kernel of truth around a bunch of lies. Oh, yeah, well, we had a conversation with them and blah, 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 blah. All right. If they showed Esau anything, okay, they might have showed them, how to blow themselves up, how to make a facsimile of a chariot that, resembles that of the Most High's angels, but nothing that is going to get them anywhere. So okay, so let's just get some precepts. I thought that was interesting. All right. So let's get because these craft, right, have everything to do with our deliverance. All right, for us to be what they call saved, and we'll get into that as well. All right. Now, quickly, let's qualify this devil. All right, because they did say. All right, let's get that first. Let's go to Ezekiel. Let's go to Ezekiel, and we'll qualify what they actually said as truth, all right? This is Ezekiel 1, start at 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, there's that word, cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it. And out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, it's describing the chariot, okay, out of the midst of the fire. Now it's about to describe the occupants or the pilots, who are the angels, all right? And it's going to say the same thing that they said, except for some blue eyes doesn't come out, all right? Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man, okay? Very similar to what she said, all right? And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, and their feet were straight, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot. And here's what we're looking for right here. And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. They had brown skin. All right? That's what we're looking for. So this is describing an encounter that Ezekiel had with the angels and their chariots. All right? Now, we'll move on. I'm trying to keep it short. All right? Now we'll qualify, because it didn't say nothing about no blue eyes. All right? Let's find out who this devil is real quick. Tell him the story. All right, this is talking about Esau. Now the serpent is Genesis 3 and 1. Now the serpent, all right, that old serpent in the garden, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord power had made. That's all we want. All right? This serpent is more subtle. How do we know that that's talking about Esau? Let's get it real quick. This is Revelation 20. Let's find this devil. All right, and I saw an angel, Revelation 21, and I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hands, talking about Yahushua. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. We know that that's talking about Esau. But right here, call him that old serpent that we just read about in Genesis. Okay? Let's quickly get Malachi, because we got to call it the devil, the wicked, too. All right? We've got to qualify it real quick. Because, all right, just bear with me. I'm putting it together. All right? I have loved you, saith the Lord. This is Malachi 1 and 2. I've loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build at desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build it, I will throw down. Here's what we're looking for. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation for forever. Salakia. All right, here's what we're looking at. The border of wickedness. Who? The wicked. All right. All right. Now, let's get some attributes of this. He's more subtle, this devil, and Satan, and the dragon, the serpent. All right. This is Book of Psalm 58. Psalm 58 and 3. The wicked, Esau, Edomites, are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. What? Every word out of his mouth is a lie. Let's shorten that sentence. Born, speaking lies. they be born speaking lies. As soon as they be born, they're speaking lies. All right. So, oh, they got to have blue eyes. They got brown skin. There's a kernel of truth. Salaki, they got brown skin, but they have blue eyes. How many brown skin, blue eye people are out there? All right. And I mean, again, if there's any truth to the story, it would be that the angels had brown skin. Okay. Because they were pretty much describing an encounter with the angels. Right? And so they got to mix it up. You know how this devil gets down. All right. All right. So let's get Psalm 68 real quick. Let's see if I can just run up there. Psalm 68 and 17. The chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. Okay? All right? And we know Yahushua is an angel, but his eyes are red. All right, how about that? Tell the truth out there, Esau. All right, so let's get a couple more. Go ahead and close. Let's get wisdom. Where's that at? Right here. Not gonna give it to me. Let's see. Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right, because this is how we're getting out of here. What does salvation mean? To be saved. All right. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 1, one of my favorite scriptures. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. What are we looking for right here? And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Getting beamed up. All right? Who got beamed up? Okay? Let's qualify that. This is 2 Kings 2. Right here. In 11. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and the horses of fire and parted them both asunder. And Elijah got beamed up. Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. All right. And what are these craft called? And Elisha saw it and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horses thereof. All right. The chariot of Israel. All right. That's what they saw up there if they saw it. Okay. Who else got beamed up? The book of Acts. It's Acts 1 and 9. Acts 1 and 9. It's talking about Yahushua. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Yahushua was beamed up into a chariot. And while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Yahushua which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. Speaking of the second coming, which we already got in Revelation 1 and 7. All right? Who else is Who else will be beamed up? Okay. The elect. All right, and then we'll close after this. Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice. This actually goes right back to Wisdom of Solomon. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. Then shall the righteous men stand in great boldness. Right? And they shall be amazed. And, Salakia. In great fear. Let me go back to that real quick. Salakia. And they shall be troubled with terrible fear. When they see it, when they see what? When they see us stand on our feet. They shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed. Amazed at what? Us getting beamed up. Okay, let's go back. Because this is talking about the same thing. They stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Okay? And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation so far beyond all that they looked for. All right? That day is very, very near. Akim, hang in there, right? Stay strong, all right? I hope that the brothers were edified, and with that, we'll say shalom.